You look at a guy like Derrick Henry, he rushed 23 times for 188 yards. This is what he's been doing. And if you're going to talk about Tennessee, how do you win this game? You win this game with ball control, by playing smash mouth football, moving the chains. You don't try to get into some shootout against the Kansas City Chiefs. That ain't going to work. Not against Patrick Mahomes and these boys. That ain't going to work at all. Your only hope is to be physical with them, give Derrick Henry the ball, and ride that wave and let him run you into the ground. That's how you've got to pull this off. You don't do that, you have no hope. Whereas with Patrick Mahomes, look at the multitude of weapons that he has. Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins. They just got a boatload of individuals to point to. All Tennessee has is Derrick Henry.
Well, I know why you say that.
Offensively,
it's a good point. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this is an easy argument. I'm going to dunk it on you right now. But the fact is,
you can't even touch
the
bottom of the
answer
backboard.
is really
it's your bad back.
By the way, you think I could grab at my best? I could grab a little net. That's about it. I'm not no front here. Listen, I could have three backs. It wouldn't matter.
There we go.
The point is, there's a natural tendency to look at Patrick Mahomes and says he has all these weapons, and that's true. But Derrick Henry, that's like Patrick Mahomes and his receivers, or Derrick Henry and his offensive line. Those are his weapons. Like, it's interdependent in both cases. Now, I get what you mean about Derrick Henry. I think when I was a kid, that John Riggins Super Bowl, Riggonomics, remember that? I think about Marshawn Lynch. There's some teams where they had a certain running back, and it was their year, whether it was all year, whether it was the playoffs, just the the conference championship or the Super Bowl. It was like that running back was just unstoppable. Derrick Henry is having an historical run right now. We will always remember this, even if they get stopped here. Remember Derrick Henry that year? Oh, my God. And by the way, he may go on to do other great things, but this year in particular, it's actually Mahomes. The answer is Mahomes. And by the way, you sleep on Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill, I can't think, maybe Rich Gannon? Where was Rich Gannon drafted? But the point is, I can't remember another quarterback drafted as high as Tannehill was that was a bust for so long that had a renaissance like this. A renaissance. This is the first. It's not like it's coming back. Like, this is the first time he's played like this. Tannehill has been stellar this year on the Titans. He's been excellent. Forget about putting up big numbers or not. That's not this offense. He has been excellent. And obviously Derrick Henry is the engine that makes that whole thing go. But Tannehill's been excellent. On the Chiefs, I don't care about all those weapons. They don't have a great defense. You take Patrick Mahomes off and put just an average quarterback on. Well, what happened when Patrick Mahomes went down? People forgot about the Chiefs. I had to come leading up to the playoffs. I kept saying on this show, are the Chiefs flying under the radar? Because they could win the whole thing. No one was thinking about them until Mahomes got healthy and started doing his thing. Basically, it comes down to this. If the question is football, Patrick Mahomes is the answer. He's the best player on the field, on every single field he ever steps on.
I understand what Patrick Mahomes does and brings to that team, but Derrick Henry is the Titans. The dude has 71% of the team's offense. I am no mathematician. I am no statistician. But I do know that 71 is a large percentage of 100. So Derrick Henry is the Tennessee Titan.
Max Kellerman, let me say this to you, too, by the way. You said that when Patrick Mahomes was out, you didn't even pay attention to him. He was out for 2 games, okay? He got hurt against the Denver, in the Denver game, which is a game that they won, okay? Matt Moore came and filled in. He lost to Green Bay 31-24. He beat Minnesota 26-23. He completed about 65% of his passes, had a quarterback rating of 100. We weren't talking about the Kansas City Chiefs because we were not as interested in them, but they didn't fall off the map and then wet the bed and look like straight garbage. They put up 24 against Green Bay. They beat Minnesota in the 2 games Patrick Mahomes is out. All I'm saying to you is this. You look at all the weapons that Kansas City has at its disposal. Even though I'm not trying to disrespect, Tennessee's a damn good team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They got some rough riders over there. That offensive line is massive. They're ready to punch you in the mouth. We get all of that. But everything starts and stops with Derrick Henry. Everything does not start and stop with Patrick Mahomes. Even without Patrick Mahomes, this Kansas City team would be a threat.
Look, this is no disrespect to Derrick Henry, who, by the way, until very recently was the most underrated running back in the game, right? And now he's getting his props, but he is a great player, and he's having an all-time great run right now. So it's no disrespect to him. It is still easier to approximate him than Patrick Mahomes with that offensive line. You could put a lot of running backs back there. That line will make them better than they ought to be. They're not going to be Derrick Henry. I get that. But you can still do things in the running game with that offensive line. And you could say whatever you want, Matt Moore. It's true. It's not like you will lose every game without Patrick Mahomes. But the whole idea of the way we perceive the Chiefs, it's not the defense. It's just like, hey, can the defense be adequate? It's not. By the way, they lost Kareem Hunt. It's not like they have the triplets anymore. Damian Williams is a nice player, but he's not Kareem Hunt.
Hey, Max.
It is the fact that we have the single greatest weapon that we've ever seen under center for the Chiefs.
Max, let me just read this number to you, okay? When you look at the Tennessee Titans, they've, when you look at them, they won 1, 2, 3, 4. They've won 7 of their last 8 games to close out the season, right? Mm-hmm. Max Kellerman, let me give you Derrick Henry's numbers during that time. 188 against Kansas City, 159, 149, 103. Then he had the 86 yards rushing in the lone loss.
He's terrible.
In the lone loss, right?
86 yards.
And then 86 yards in the lone loss. And then the final 3 games, 211, 182, and 195.
That's
ridiculous.
So, Max, what I'm trying to say to you, Max, is what I'm trying to say to you is they won every one of those games.
Yep.
And the one game when he only had 86 yards, they lost.
By the way,
And you talking to me about Tennessee like there's another option other than him. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.